What's up, guys? This is the first episode of the Power of Progress podcast, and today we got.
Matt, hey, how's it going, y'all?
So this is Matt here. We've been homies for pretty much life, real close. But
Real
yeah,
day
we're
ones.
exactly. We're gonna talk about staying consistent in the gym and why it's so important, and how so many people fuck up, but like how to ultimately fix it. Talk a little about my experience. Talk a little about his experience, and just kind of get an overall just of what you can do if you're feeling stuck or inconsistent in the gym or in your journey in general. So let's go ahead and get into it. Talking first, I think one of the biggest things is just feeling lost when you start because there's so much, bro. Like there's so much like online, especially of all these like different diets to do, different training plans. How did you
hmm
feel at first when like you first started going to the gym?
At first, when I started out, I was lost. Like as you were saying, there's just so much going on, so much to do. Like first, you don't really know what you're aiming for, whether it's calisthenics, bodybuilding, stuff like that. All the diets, this diet's good, this diet's bad, and then like it kind of like contradicting each other. Like, oh no, that one's bad and this one's good. It's just like a whole bunch in the beginning. It's just hard to
Like
find your way around in the beginning. Yeah.
find one because some people say like stuff works for them, but the same thing won't work for a different person. Like for example, like keto and carnivore. People are like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go on keto and cut carbs and I don't give a fuck about calories, but I'm gonna lose weight. And it works for some people, like it does. But ultimately it's because of your calories that you're intaking. But just so many people just get lost with all those options, especially as a beginner. Like when I started, I was doing I'm talking way back when I was like still skinny fat.
Oh yeah.
I just started doing like at home workouts. I was doing this app, it was called Sworkit, where it was just
hmm
like stuff like push-ups, lunges, body weight. Because I didn't have access to a gym at that age. And I was like, I'm gonna just do what I can. And like it ultimately led to nowhere. It made me feel like disappointed because I was like, this is not working. I see nothing. This is not working.
hmm
And then even with diet, like I would just like not eat as much because I was like, well, that's how you lose weight. You just kind of don't eat, right? That's how it works. Like, what did you do at first when you were like, I'm uncomfortable with my body?
At first, I was like, all right, I gotta start, working out. I didn't really skip. Well, yeah, I skipped the at home part and kind of just went straight into the gym because by the time I decided, hey, I need to start working out, I was around 13-ish years old. So, it was old enough to get a membership. Diet has never really been something super big for me until
Yeah,
recently. I've been starting to track it a bit more.
because it matters. Like it's good you have the training part down too. And like for everyone that doesn't know, like we've been training OG way back when we first both
Oh
started the
yeah,
gym. We would go together and just fuck it up, probably doing things horribly wrong, but
oh yeah, yeah. We're form garbage.
But we were
It's all
out
right though.
there,
It comes
like
with time. It comes
we
with
did
time.
it. We
Oh
got
yeah,
the starter steps experience because you need to experience that. Like you need to have those fuck ups. You need to have that first time where you're like, you don't know what you're doing because like it makes you want to learn more. Because for me, I was like, I know that something is off here. I know that something is wrong. What can I do to make this better? And I was constantly watching like YouTube videos and things like that, and just looking at like studies of like, okay, what's the fastest, best way I can lose weight, build muscle? Because I want that right away. And YouTube was
oh
a big
yeah,
help for
yeah.
me. What did you do to like try to learn more, if you did at all?
Honestly, yeah, I'd watch YouTube a bit. Look at like certain influencers and stuff on Instagram. Back then, it wasn't too big like it is nowadays with all the fitness influencers. But yeah, YouTube, Instagram, stuff like that. I talked to some friends about it
Yeah.
because I had some friends in the gym and stuff as well.
Well, I know we would go back and forth too. I'd be like, okay, bro, I learned this, so let's do this, let's try
Yeah,
this. And then the next week I'd be like, okay, that's actually not good. Let's not do that. It's like
yeah,
contradicting and stuff. But yeah, and then like the diet thing too. Yeah, I was just like, let me just eat less. And then that's not gonna work because fasting or like just not eating as much is gonna make you even hungrier. Oh my God, this focus is crazy. Makes me look like a ghost. But not eating is gonna make you crave those bad foods even more.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
like that's just gonna fuck you up because then like it just all builds up your hunger and stuff. It's not like I'm just not gonna eat because eventually it's gonna be let out and you're gonna fucking binge on all the stuff you've been dreaming about for the last like fucking couple hours or so that you've been starving yourself and it's just
Yeah.
not sustainable either, bro. Like you need to be eating something you enjoy, what you like. But
Yeah. And it's not just the, losing the gains part without eating, it's like the health effects that come with, skipping a meal or two. It's like less energy, migraines,
uh,
stuff like that.
like you just feel worse too. And like you feel worse when you eat worse food, honestly.
Yeah.
Like the more, because I don't honestly care too much about stuff that's like processed or made in a factory, as long as it's like
Yeah.
lower calorie, high protein, but it does make you feel a certain way. Like if
Oh
you
yeah,
eat a
yeah,
bag
yeah.
of Takis,
You're gonna
it may taste good, but like you just feel groggy after, or like less energy, and you're just kind of like that's where the like feelings of regret come in and all that. And
especially with the Takis, upset stomach, it's just kind of like knocking you out for a few hours.
And like
When
I'm
those few hours you
personally
could go
go ahead.
with those few hours you could feel, when you're feeling out of it, like from eating that bag of Takis, those few hours you could have used to work out or better yourself in some sort of way.
Yeah, or actually cook and make a meal that you would feel better eating.
Hmm.
But yeah,
And that would fill you up.
exactly. For a longer time too. So another thing I think, like we talked about like social media is like comparing yourself to other influencers and
Hmm.
bodybuilders. So I feel like that's the biggest force in the space is like bodybuilders. And dude, this focus is horrendous, but it's okay. Um, the bodybuilders, and like not that that's a bad thing. It doesn't have to be a bodybuilder, really anyone who's an influencer, especially when
Oh
you're
yeah,
young
yeah.
and impressionable, you're like, I want to be like that. I want to look like that. And then you hold this standard in your head of like, well, I don't look like that. I don't have a six pack yet. I've only been going to the gym for a year, but I don't have a six pack or I don't have crazy biceps veins, whatever. Like,
Hmm.
how did you feel with that? Did you ever feel like it was like becoming too much or a lot?
Honestly, yeah, it kind of like comparing yourself to the other like influencers and stuff. It makes you just, you know, not appreciate yourself as much as like you would if you were focusing on your progress and your progress solely. Like, there's nothing wrong with the
Mhm.
influencers, watch them, get tips from them, but don't
Yeah, like
compare
they're big,
your
like
body to
good for
theirs.
them. Yeah. But then, yeah, like when you do compare, it's like, dude, they've been in this for like years. Like
Yeah, they've been
they
doing that
know
for
what they're
like 5 to 8
doing.
years.
Exactly. It's like comparing a toddler to a kid who's in like second grade and being like, well, you can't do this. You
Hmm.
can't do this. It's like, bro, you've barely been on this earth. Like you've barely been doing the
Yeah,
work. How can you expect the result without like doing much of the work? But
exactly.
yeah, no, I think with me, I've been fairly good with that, but I just noticed a lot with other people too. And just realizing like these are actual human beings that you're seeing. They're not just like
Hmm.
a thing on your screen. You know, they don't exist in your phone. These are real people that have real
Yeah.
lives and experiences, and they also feel that same way. Like the biggest bodybuilders are like the most crazy ripped people. They have that inner judgment still of like, I'm not good enough. I don't like this about myself. Everybody has it.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's the thing about like your dream body. Like when you get to your dream from wherever you start, you'll get there. And then from that point, you're not going to be satisfied. You're not going to be like, well, I'm good. I have a six pack. I'm not going to try to get any more. No, you're going to want more. Like you're going to want better.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so talking back on topic about like motivation, I feel like another thing people do is they're so focused on motivation. They just keep watching a bunch of videos, listening to stuff to get motivated so they can go to the gym rather than the gym just being like a place they go out of discipline because they know they have to. Like
Yeah.
same as like making your bed in the morning. Like you just do it rather than having to build up to the motivation to get there. How have you been with like motivation?
Motivation is always good, but like between motivation and discipline, you're gonna want that discipline more because motivation will get you, hyped up and ready in that moment.
Yeah, like it's
But
good. Like it has its
dis
purpose. Yeah.
yeah, discipline is gonna help you in the long run. Like motivation, it's good for, like if you're feeling a little bit lazy, get some
Yeah.
motivation, get yourself up going, and then use
Like it
that
doesn't
discipline that
hurt.
you have. to go to the gym, and then same with motivation. Like you're about to hit a big set on like bench or something. You're about to
Hmm.
max out or something, hit a new PR. You definitely need that motivation to help you go through. But in the end, it's that discipline that gets you on throughout your fitness journey.
Exactly, because you got to think about this like years on end. You can't think of it as like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym really hard this week and then be done. No, like
Yeah,
the motivation is gonna fade. Motivation comes and
yeah,
goes, and it's okay when it's good.
yeah.
It's cool when it's there. Like it helps, yeah, for sure. But like when it fades is when the work is most important. That's when you need to give the most work because it's when you don't want to do it or when you're like, I've done this before. I don't really want to go today. That's where discipline comes in. You're like, this is just something I know I have to do to get where I want to go. Because I also feel like consistency is like the biggest thing to getting results.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah,
without it, like, you're not gonna get anywhere. I mean, like,
yeah.
personally, my journey has been like 5 years, but like I've in that first year it was a lot of like on and off of like
Hmm.
just getting into lifting and then like kind of going, kind of not. Those were like the only real times in my life where I was like, I remember it was like 8 p.m. and I had to go to the gym and I was like, it's a leg day too, and I was like, I don't want to go. This shit sucks. It's late. I'm tired. But I just ended up going, and then I went, and I was like, okay, that was really cool. Like, because you prove to yourself that you're like, I didn't want to do it, but then I did,
Yeah.
and that kind of goes to the motivation. But that's just how you get to be constantly and just keep going. Because when you stop, you're just like hurting your progress a lot, a lot, a lot.
Hmm.
But
Like with that, I feel that like those days where you're feeling not so much, but you finally get yourself up and you go to the gym.
mhm.
That's like one of your best workouts that you have, just because like
Yeah.
you got yourself there even when you weren't feeling it. It's just that discipline.
Exactly. Rather than being like hyped up on motivation, which is really cool, but like, yeah, just knowing when you're like, I didn't want to go, but I did,
Yep.
you feel 10 times better.
Yeah.
Yeah. How have you
Because
felt
you're
with
like
like
actively trying to
consistency
consistency. I've
and
been
like falling
like
off, going on?
no, yeah, yeah, I've been like inconsistent like multiple times. Like it's not it's not like I guess
So
what
like
I'm trying to
with
say is like
yeah.
everybody hits that inconsistent part of their
Mm,
journey, or not even just their fitness journey, just like inconsistency in anything.
mm-hmm.
But like what you need to do is continue that consistency, like use that discipline, like we were talking about previously, use that
Yeah.
discipline to keep you going and keep up that consistency.
Yeah. What do you think is like the biggest thing that like causes the inconsistency? What is the like first thing that triggers you to like maybe fall off?
Laziness, like straight
Really?
up laziness. Like you're chilling in bed and you're just
You're
feeling like
comfortable.
tired. Yeah, you're feeling too comfortable and lazy. You're just laying in bed. You're like, I don't really want to. I'm feeling
Hmm.
tired. But honestly, with that, like you gave me this advice before. If you're
Hmm.
feeling tired like that, like take a quick 10-20 minute nap and then get up and get yourself to the gym.
Yeah. Especially, I know, like I felt that even like after work and stuff. That's probably like the biggest time I felt it was like at other jobs being like just getting off and it's like 6 or 7 p.m. and you're like, dude, I don't want to go to the gym. Are you kidding me? Like I got a long day. Been up for like
Hmm.
a couple, like 15 hours, something like that. Been working for the last 8. I'm tired. I don't have a bunch of energy. I don't want to go to the gym. And then it's like, dude, just go. Just push yourself and get there. And then when you
Hmm.
get there, you'll be like even more like, fuck yeah, dude, that was pretty sick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Um, Also another thing, I feel like nowadays people on social media and TikTok and Instagram, everything like that, where everything's so fast and there's so much like instant gratification, that feeling of like they want results yesterday. Like,
Yeah.
think about like Amazon Prime. People are like, dude, okay, I'm gonna buy this thing. It's gonna arrive at my house in 3 hours or the next day. I want it
Hmm.
like as soon as possible. Like the same thing kind of goes with fitness or things like that because they get started and they see what they can get, like we said, comparison with the influencers and everything like that. And then they're like, okay, well, I want that now. I want it right now. I mean, I even had that, dude. That's why I was so interested and motivated. I channeled it into learning, which is good. But
Oh
some
yeah,
kids will be
yeah,
like, let me hop on gear, let me hop on steroids so I can get there.
yeah.
How do you feel about like being natural versus not being natural? What are your takes on that? Like, do you think you'll ever be
Um,
like not natural?
I feel like there may come a point in my life when I become, not natty, but that's
Mhm.
due to, getting older and like
Yeah, like tests
health,
naturally going
health, like
down.
test. Yeah, I wouldn't go,
Yeah.
hardcore like fucking trend or something.
Antibody,
I'd
right?
go, I'd go,
Yeah.
like test boosters if my test starts dropping as I get older. But
Yeah, test HGH. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. No, I feel like that's fair, honestly. Because testosterone is not even like just directly relating to the gym, but like your mood and how you feel
oh
and
yeah,
like
yeah,
everything else, your like sex drive too, and like
yeah,
it's all important parts that you need to be thinking about. And as you get older with age, like your test crashes, and if
yeah.
it just makes you feel worse. But yeah, for me, I mean, I'm natural. I've been natural for the 5 years I've been lifting. With my age right now, I'm not really thinking about it anytime soon. But when I was younger, I felt it, dude. When I was like 16, young, impressionable, I was like watching all these videos, like I said, of all influencers in comparison and feeling like, oh, I want to be there. I want to be that. I want to be that. To where I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do it today because that's like a scary thing. Because I was smart to realize that like, yo, this will like fuck you up if you're not careful.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like bad, you could die. But I was like, I'm gonna do it when I'm 21 years old. And
Mm.
now, not even now, when I was like 18 or something, I was like, fuck that. No way.
Yeah,
Like, dude, no, because your testosterone is still so high. And so, like, earliest 25, probably around 30 is when it actually starts to like go down. And then you can
starts a
like
yeah, there's a
think
slow
about it.
decline.
Yeah, but like the longer you can stay natural and be just like happy with where you're at with life, everything, because there's so much that goes into it. It's a lot of upkeep. It costs money. You have to make sure you're not getting fucking gyno. You have to take things to level out your hormones. Your
Oh yeah,
emotions
yeah,
are going to be like a roller coaster all the time. Like it's a bunch of work and dedication. Also, to be careful about your health. Obviously, it's one of the most dangerous parts of it. So just the longer you can stay natural, I feel like the better. I mean, I'm not natty, so take my word with a grain of salt. But from all the research and things that I have learned and what I do know is like just wait. But I do think one day once that point hits, I'd be for it. Because also the thing of like your progress goes far, but it only goes so far. Like
yeah.
in your first year, you're gonna make the most progress ever. Unless,
Oh yeah.
you hop on crazy shit like tren or other crazy steroids. How much growth did you make in your first year? Like, do you remember any kind of like numbers, or at least like how it felt too, going from where you are to
Uh,
like a year?
I don't remember any, like statistics on it, but
Hmm.
I do remember, strength increased. I was like flying through bench press. I
Yeah,
started
you did have a
out,
strong bench. I mean, you
I
do.
maxed at like 120. I was like, damn it, this sucks.
Yeah,
This shit sucks. And then the next month I hit 135. And then the next month after that, 145,
like the
155,
progress is
all the way.
crazy because you're just starting from zero, and then you just
Mhm.
like boom get to your standard. Yeah. What about like the way you felt? Let's get vulnerable. Because like
Well,
when
yeah.
I was first not going to the gym, feeling like unconfident with myself, it was because of my body. I was like, it was a reflection of how I felt, and here was what how people saw me because I was kind of like,
Yeah.
insecure because I had like a body or going to like the pool or something like that. I was like, I don't want to take my shirt off.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
nervous or like, oh, God, I don't want any girls to see me. Like, I don't got a good body. All of that just leads to your own negative mindset and your downfall. And then
Hmm.
like wearing hoodies all the time, things like that. But I noticed once I started going, like I felt the boost, like the mental clarity that you get after the gym is like really crazy and really high. I'm
Yeah.
just feeling like
It gives you like that serotonin boost. You're like, you feel more confident, like that big confidence boost. Like, you know what? I am gonna go to the pool now. I'm gonna take my shirt off instead of, standing in the corner with it on. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of girls here, stuff like that.
exactly. When it comes to the progress too, yeah. But even yeah, like even the first time when I started, like you just feel that like relief of like, oh, I exhausted my body, I gave my best effort, and it feels
Hmm.
fucking good. But no, yeah, then eventually, yeah, like you said, like seeing the progress makes you feel confident. Like being able to post yourself on social media, that's something I never did until like we started posting gym pics fairly early on.
Oh
We
yeah.
were, we were we were still pretty skinny looking back. Here, I'll throw a picture up right now, but it was yeah, it was crazy. But we were in there, like you can't like discredit yourself for starting and learning.
Yeah.
But
And honestly, with the starting out, I think you definitely need you need like people on the sidelines, motivating you because there's always going to be those haters like, "Oh, you can't do that. Oh, you can't do this." But you want to have some people on the
mhm,
sideline, helping you, motivating you. Like for me, that was you, my
mhm,
dad. Recently, within the past year or two, I kind of fell off for a little bit, like 2, 3 years ago.
mhm,
And recently, the past year or two, my girlfriend was like, "Hey, like she like straight up said, 'Hey, you're looking kind of chunky,' like." And that was kind of like
like a wake up call.
is like a wake up call. I'm like, damn, I am like, I definitely need to start working out. So she got me in there. I think I was on a trip one or during it. I was like, you know what? Once I get home, I'm starting to go to the gym. Like on the trip, pulled up my phone, got a gym membership right then and there.
Mhm.
And then yeah, first day back from that trip, I hit the gym running. Yeah.
That's awesome, bro. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, like that's it kind of takes something like that to trigger you to be like, all right, I gotta make this shit work. Like I gotta get moving. Something's
Yeah.
gotta happen. Yeah. And it's either gonna be from yourself or from something else you hear. But like ultimately the thing that pushed me to even start in the first place, I don't know if you know about this, was like um some friends I had freshman year. They were like really bad people, to be
Mhm.
honest. Not the best, I'm gonna say, not the best emotionally supportive. And
Oh yeah.
I overheard them like talking when I came back from another room, and they were like, "Oh, Jake, like he looks like he has a normal body, like normal being like skinny, but like he
Mhm.
honestly has like a belly and like his legs are really fat. Like he's built really weird." And I was like, "Fuck, dude, these people are my friends, and they don't know that I can hear them, but like can't even
Yeah.
trust my own friends, not like make fun of my body." And I was like, already fairly insecure, but that just like drove that shit home, like that doesn't feel good. And that's when that was my big point where I was like, dude, this shit's got to change. Like, I got to make a difference. This doesn't feel good. But yeah,
That's that skinny fat body.
dude, it's a killer because it's not like you're really like the super fat guy. It's not like, oh, here's the fat
Mhm.
guy. That's just how it is. Because that's like it's also really hard too. It's hard to get out of that, and that's very taxing emotionally as well. But being skinny fat, it's like everyone thinks that you're okay because people don't see a skinny body as necessarily like impressive. They're just like you're just as is. If not,
Yeah.
if not something bad, like we're skinny.
It's like
It doesn't.
skinny's like the like basic preset, that everybody starts with, I guess.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
like
Except
a
for if
video
you go
game
like,
type term. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
It's like
exactly.
you never really worked out, you ate all right, not like you stayed somewhat active to where you didn't, get really fat and like lay around and be lazy, but you weren't dieting correctly and you were not doing much strength, workout. And
Mhm.
you kind of just, I don't know, but also it has to do kind of a little bit with, I don't know if it's genetics per se, but it has to do with, like where the fat on your body, goes to.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
fat on my body goes to my legs, my stomach, a little bit in the chest area. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
No, me too. No, it's totally genetic, I think too. I mean, like, because you don't have enough fat, like I said, to be like super overweight, but it's also lies in your genetics and the fact of like where your fat goes. Because the same thing happens with your muscle. Like your muscles are gonna look different based on like where your muscle inserts are, how big certain
Oh
muscles
yeah,
can
yeah.
be. Like for me, like my legs are really big, and that's just a big thing for me. But like I said, when I was like skinny fat before, that was a big point that carried a lot of fat. And I was like, damn, it's just part of genetics. It's like based off your parents, and you can't pick your parents, but
Hmm.
that's just
Yeah.
the baseline you have to go off, and you gotta make the best of it, dude. And that's another thing too. People will see people will see like other people online and be like, "Oh, well, you're not that big. You're not that big." And it's the same thing about comparison, where it's like, dude, this person, like, say someone is like a natural athlete, natural influencer, or something like that. People go into their
Yeah,
comments. Like for example, Jeff Nippard. Do you know who that is? The science guy.
yeah,
He's like on YouTube. Yeah, he's like a good
yep.
example. Like he's like fairly short, but he looks really good, especially for being natural. And then some people are like, well, you don't look that good. You don't look that good. Because next to like crazy looking bodybuilders, yeah, his physique might not hold up, but like he's also natural. You have to give him that credit of like, yeah, dude's putting in the work. Like it's done it. And people just have that unrealistic expectation. And I
Mhm.
feel like that also just comes from like insecurity of themselves, you think?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Of just like wanting to attack other people because they don't have what they
They
want
don't have that
themselves.
like body self-confidence in themselves where they need that, motivation, discipline to keep themselves going. But instead of, channeling that, they like channel it towards hating on others. Like, oh, you're not that big. Oh, you're skinny. You don't have that much muscle. Stuff like that.
Yeah. And then I also think like the way that people get into the gym, like we said before, touching back on that,
Hmm.
thing I see a lot is like people coming out of a relationship or getting like broken up with,
Oh
and they're
yeah,
like, this
that's
is
a
my
big one.
revenge arc. This is how I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna get ripped,
Like the
Sigma
the villain
Alpha.
arc. Yeah.
Yeah, the villain arc. It's just such TikTok brain rot, but but I think it's a good motivator. You know, like if you got your
Oh
heart
yeah.
broke, if you're not feeling good, like when you have the most emotions, if you can channel that into the gym rather than other places, then you're fucking winning, dude. Like
Oh yeah.
rather than like starting drugs or starting to drink or something like that, it's gonna like just damage you or damage other people. Invest that in the gym, dude, because like it's an awesome place to let out your emotions. Like I think it's really good for your
Yeah.
mental health too. Like if
Yeah.
you're carrying any stress in your day, going to the gym, just busting that shit out, that feels incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. How have you felt about like finding the right stuff to eat? Like foods that are like high calorie, low protein, or no, low calorie, high protein. What have you
I
found that's
can't
like
remember.
good for you? What's something you enjoy that's like you can eat consistently and be like, I fuck with this.
Honestly, I enjoy steak, chicken, rice. I throw some pasta in there a little bit
Mhm.
sometimes, when I've been good. Throw some pasta in there, but honestly, yeah,
Simple
go
man.
aim for that, low calorie, high protein stuff like that. I honestly don't look at, the other stuff like you should, like
Mhm.
carbs, sugars. I don't really look at that, but I really should start looking at that, but
I mean, no, I don't really either. Like I just kind of I just track it in the app that I use. Like I use macros
Mhm.
tracker. You can use MyFitnessPal and like that. It just shows you. I think it's cool. And the only thing I think that does matter is like just getting in a decent amount of carbs before your workout. That way you're like your muscles are full and your blood is
Oh
flowing.
yeah,
But
yeah.
besides that, like I don't care if my fats are high, dude. As long as my calories are in touch. And like there's the thing that like food will be higher in calories if it has more fat.
Mhm.
So, but you don't have to necessarily watch out for it. You just kind of know that. Like you're not gonna eat 3 sticks of butter like some keto people and they'd be like, why am I hungry? Because you fucking ate 3 sticks of butter, dude. Highest calorie shit. You're gonna gain weight. You're not full.
They go for that, oh, it has no carbs, so it's good for me, but they're eating fucking solid fat.
Yeah,
Like,
literally. No carbs, but everything else. Yeah. It's just unrealistic too. And like I think the thing is like the key to success and the key to keeping this for a long amount of time is just making it work for life. Like just making
hmm
it realistic into your lifestyle and accepting as a part of who you are rather than I'm gonna go on a diet. I'm gonna start going to the gym. That's where so many people
yeah.
fuck up, you know?
Oh yeah.
What have you seen in like other people around you? Have you seen other people around you like fail? Or like say like they're gonna start to go to the gym and do all this stuff and eat healthy and then like it doesn't work?
Uh, I've noticed it like a little bit back in the day, you'd hear a friend say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go start working out. I'm gonna start doing all of this," and then you're like, "Oh yeah," you're there motivating them, and then they're there a month or two, and then they kind of just fall off. I've had that happen with friends. I've done that myself, like a little
Mhm.
bit, but yeah,
Yeah, that's fair to admit. I mean, yeah, it happens, but like it's always just like I do think starting with someone to hold you accountable is like
Oh
really,
yeah.
really powerful. Because like there's discipline, there's self-discipline to a point. You're gonna need to build that for sure. But in the beginning is where you're most likely to fail. And if you have someone there to like help you, support you, like back you up, that's
Hmm.
really gonna help. I mean, for me at first, when I was going with you for a minute when we first started, I was like, I don't want to go to the gym by myself. That's like intimidating. Like, what? I'm a weirdo. Who goes to the gym by themselves? Not realizing that like most of the people at the gym are there by themselves.
Hmm.
So, yeah, but it's okay. No one gives a fuck, dude. If anything, when people see other people in the gym that are new, at least me, when I see that, I'm like excited for them. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. They're killing this shit. Good for them. Like, they're here. Why am I going to be mad at someone for being at the gym
Oh yeah, yeah.
when it's a good place for them? But yeah. What kind of feelings did you notice once you had like that certain amount of progress? Like you had more muscle on you, you lost more fat. Like how did you feel like other people treated you, how you like emotionally felt in your body?
Honestly, I just felt, I was happy for myself, happy with the gains I was making, like,
Mhm.
more confidence. Like you can see, you finish up a workout, you go into the bathroom and you look in the mirror and you just see like your tricep is big, like massively pumped up, or your bicep, something like that. Those are usually the easiest things to pump. But
Yeah, like it feels really good.
like
Yeah.
honestly, yeah, it just feels really good. People start to notice. They're like, "Hey, man, you're actually looking better. Did you lose some weight or something like that, or
Yeah, like that feels
you start
crazy
hitting the
too.
gym?" And
A lot of people
it
ask
just
you that.
feels it just feels good to have like not thriving off of gratification from other people and only thriving off of that because you need to thrive off of self-confidence as well, but
Mm.
just hearing that gratification from other people be like, hey man, you're actually starting to look pretty good for you. It just helps to hear like that other people's input.
Yeah. No, yeah, because like for the first like while, it's pretty much just on you. Like you gotta hold yourself accountable. People aren't gonna notice for a minute, to be honest. That's the truth of it. Unless they
Yeah,
see
it takes a
you
while.
actually going to the gym or they see you post pictures that you're in the gym, then they might be like, oh, cool, I'm happy for you, I'm proud. But it
Yeah.
shouldn't matter. Like you should be able to go on your own discipline and then they'll start to show that they care once you have success. And it's kind of fucked. It's kind of fucked to be honest. But that's just the truth of it. So,
Yeah.
you know. But how do you feel when like you're not seeing results?
Honestly, like when you don't feel you're when you're not seeing results, you just your self-confidence drops a little bit. But like honestly, when that happens, you need to just think, remember that it's going to take time for results to show. It takes time, just like in anything. It takes time for results to show. It's not going to be, oh, like those videos all over YouTube or like the ads on Instagram, get a six pack in like 5 days. Like that's just not how that works. That's just not it. So like you just need to remember, hey, I'm in it to do this. Like always think about that end goal and know to yourself that it's gonna take more time.
All right, so if you were to give one piece of advice to someone who's like brand new to the gym, maybe they're like skinny fat, maybe they're overweight, like what is that one piece of advice you think would help them a lot?
Honestly, I'd say, stay consistent, if you're not feeling it that day, just try and find a little bit of motivation to get yourself up and go to the gym that day. Like, and also, big thing. Rest days and like the weekend or whatever, do not, I repeat, do not fail that like diet or whatever you're doing, because the rest days, all of that, that's where it gets you.
So rest days are important. Like, like I like to say like 4 days a week in the gym is all you need and like three rest days, but like
Yeah.
making sure that your stuff is still on track. You can eat like you can go out to eat. That's a lot of things people don't
Oh yeah,
know
yeah.
about. They're like, I can't go out to eat ever. They just think like they go out to eat and like, well, I'm gonna go with my friends, but like, oh, sorry guys, I can't eat because I'm on a diet. I'm not gonna eat
Hmm.
tonight. And like, bro, you look weird. Who's this goofball? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, so like, but just not letting it go too far and being like, well, I'm not in the gym today, so by the time that
Yeah.
like other day comes around when you're off your rest day, you know you gotta get shit dialed. That's why you have the rest days, is so that you can enjoy peace and recovery, getting your body back in shape so that you can go to the gym and then go crazy and do it. Like that's why
Mhm.
they're so important. But if you were to give advice, this is a little different, but like if you were to give advice to your like day one self before like he even went to the gym, what advice would you give him?
I'd have to say,
Knowing what you know now, you know?
not with yeah, no, I'd say just stay consistent. Stay consistent, find a diet, and just keep going. In the end, it'll get way better. It comes with time because honestly, I was one of those people who wanted results right away, but it comes with time.
Mindset, yeah, just channeling it and realizing what reality is because it's just not going to change. It's not going to show up right away. And then like another thing too is when people like work so hard on that to get their crazy result and then they get it, then like, okay, now I get to go back to normal. I get to eat like shit again because that's just like I put in all the hard
Mhm.
work. Now I deserve a little treat, a little gift to myself. And I'm like, what are you doing? That's not the point of this. Like, you don't just get a
Yeah,
six pack and get lean and then you're like, cool, done for the rest of my life. Never have to go to the gym again. It's like, no, dude, it needs upkeep. You need to constantly be doing this.
exactly.
It's not like a do it and it's done type thing.
But with
That's
that, it's a lot harder getting to there than it is maintaining. So once you get there, you just got to maintain. It's a lot easier to maintain your progress rather than getting up to where you want it to
start from
be.
zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a big gap of like knowledge and then like just actual experience. There's so many pieces that are moving in it, like nutrition, diet, actual training, how your training is
Yeah.
going, how you even do the proper form. Like that's
Yeah.
pretty whole big thing in
That's a
itself.
big
You could
thing, yeah.
spend hours learning and still not have everything dialed. Um, Proper timing of like when to get protein in. There's so many details and stuff that you can find.
Exactly.
So when
Like
you start, go ahead.
to broaden that up, like honestly, like I think it's a lot easier to maintain and like keep going once you're further progressed in because the knowledge you've gained about your body, how your body works and all of that as well.
Yeah, it's all really important. Yeah. How do you feel like having kind of guidance helps too? Like I know we said about like having like that buddy system, but like
Hmm.
what about someone like actually has the right like training plan for you, has like the right guidance, someone to hold you accountable? How valuable do you think
Honestly,
that is?
I wish I had more of that in the beginning because just that guidance will help keep you on track, help you keep consistent. But in the end, at the end of the day, like all of that really does depend on you to do that because nobody can make you do that. But in the end, it's all up to you. But having that guidance really, really helps keep you on track.
Doing too. I mean, like when we first started, a couple of years into lifting, I honestly didn't know like everything. But, I made these training
Hmm.
plans. Like I was like, let me help you, bro. Like I know this, I learned this, I learned this. It's working for me. Here, use it. It helps me. I think it'll help you too. And yeah, I think just having that's really important. So if this resonated with you guys and you feel like you're watching this and you're like, dude, nothing's working, or I want that success, I want to get that body, I want to have visible abs, have a six pack, be lean, things like that. You actually know that you deserve this and you feel like it's gonna happen, but I just feel lost and misguided. Kind of like we did when we first starting. It's completely normal, by the way, completely normal. I'll be willing to work with you and give you some help. If you do want help, there'll be an application form in the description below. You can go ahead and click it, see if you're a good fit. And then we'll hop on a call where I'll just talk to you about your problems, what kind of things you're going through, what kind of goals you have. See if you're a good fit for the program. If you are, then you're golden. If not, it's okay. If you're not a good fit, then we'll just have a talk, see what kind of plan you can do, set you on your right path, and it's a win-win situation. So if that sounds good, apply in the description. But you have anything else you want to add today, Matt?
No, just you got to make sure you stay consistent, keep on keeping on, and just make sure you have your motivations.
Yeah, push through it. Also, yeah, like making sure your goals and your headspace in the right place, like making sure like you want this for life, not a quick, easy fix. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
man, that was good. Have a great day. And remember, you got this.